Jeez, folks, we are freaking leaking today. Leaking, I say. Good morning, folks, and happy Wednesday. Well, last night we did not stay up until like 2, 3 in the morning playing video games. We came home and took our butts straight to bed. And surprisingly, we did not stay up until 2, 3 in the morning, giggling and laughing. We stayed up for, I don't know, till like 12:30ish. Needless to say, we got a solid 8 hours of sleep. And even with my 8 hours of sleep, it was a struggle to get up at first. But now that we are up, we are nice and energized. Our bodies have not felt better than this in a long time. Our brain, like, I feel high functioning now. Excited to go knock out this run, to go get better today than we were yesterday. So I guess let's hit the road and just hope that this traffic doesn't hold me up at all. But honestly, we're leaving the house in enough time. Even if the traffic does hold us up, we'll still make it in time for a good run. So I guess let's start heading across the state of Georgia to go get better today than we were yesterday, folks. Sleep is just, like, I'm one of those guys, one of those people who need to be in bed by like 9, 10 o'clock. And we haven't done that in like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So us getting to bed at like 12:30, that was a great freaking feeling. An amazing feeling. A tremendous feeling. I mean, we can go on forever about how it felt. Just know that sleep is important, folks. If you are not, I guess, functioning properly, you're not as productive as you feel like you should be, take a look at your sleep schedule, goofballs. It could be sleep deprived. You could not be getting enough sleep. But I guess let's hit the road. Like I said, let's go battle this Atlanta traffic. Let's go get better today than we were yesterday. Well, good news. We made it here in enough time to knock out a nice long run today to make up for a lackluster run on Monday. So let's go get this run started. Jeez, folks, we are freaking leaking today. Leaking, I say. Alrighty, folks, run complete. And you know, getting into shape is really just as simple as showing up consistently and going as hard as you possibly can, giving it your freaking all. Like, if, say you're doing cardio that day, give it your all. Make sure that you're pushing it until you're out of breath or just about out of breath. And going as long as you have, as long as time will allow for you. If you have 45 minutes in your day to get out some cardio, go as hard as you can for that 45 minutes. If lifting weights, getting big, getting stronger is your goals, get in there consistently and move the weight as hard as you can for as long as you can. It's really that simple. Like, literally just stop overcomplicating fitness, and a whole lot of y'all would be in a whole lot better of shape. It's as easy as pushing yourself as hard as you possibly can. That's the gist of getting into shape. And of course, everyone has their own methodologies, training ideas, and things like that. But they all come down to a general premise. Push yourself hard, and as hard as you possibly can. But, folks, we are tight after that run, so let's get us a little stretch in, so we don't catch no injuries. Because, you need to stretch just as bad as you need to work out. If you work out for an hour, stretch for freaking 10 minutes. You know what I mean, folks? So, let's get in here. Let's stretch it out. Let's make our bodies feel good. And then let's go get better today than we were yesterday. What I absolutely love about our training room is that on any given day, anybody can submit anybody. You never get a round off. Every one of your rolls are gonna be to the freaking death. Needless to say, we had a great day today of getting better today than we were yesterday. But we got to talking after practice, and we were like, Coach, what is your opinion on belts? Like what's your opinion? I know we're a no-gi program, but what's your opinion on them? He was like, I think that they're a way of saying that you're progressing in the sport, but at the end of the day, a belt doesn't mean shit. I was like, yeah, I agree with you there. He's like, often I see blue belts submitting black belts and brown belts and purple belts. A belt doesn't mean shit. What really matters is the skill level in which you possess. That's what really matters. And I agree. It took me a long time to really understand that. But as a young blue belt and a young white belt, I was like, man, I want my next belt. I want my next belt. I want my next belt. And then I started actually getting good at the sport. And now I'm like, I really don't give a shit if I ever get another belt. I mean, imagine being a blue belt, subbing black belts and brown belts and purple belts. It doesn't sound as cool when you're like, I'm a purple belt subbing black belts, or a black belt subbing black belts. You know what I mean? And I guess it's an ego thing. You kind of let go of the ego once you start progressing a little bit. And well, yeah, also you get your ass kicked enough, you let go of that ego. I think so often people jeopardize their progression by worrying about belt colors and not worrying about skill progression. They're worrying about belt progression, not about skill progression. And instead of trying to understand and build up the information and understand the positions and pressure and, everything like that, they're so worried about when they're going to get their next promotion. It doesn't freaking matter. Just get better at the sport, and eventually it'll come. And if it doesn't, at least you had fun and you got good while trying to get the belt. You know what I mean? While doing it. So, yeah, so often I just see people get so worked up over freaking belts. And I, too, used to do it. Now, it doesn't really matter to me. And another cool thing about no-gi is you don't know what someone's belt is. Like, you'll never know. It doesn't. You're not going to give someone a little bit extra respect just because, they got a black belt on. No, you're going to go in there and roll with them just like you rolled with the last guy and the last guy and the last guy. That's the thing I love about no-gi, is you don't have that, we must respect this guy because he's a black belt. No, you don't got to respect anybody. You respect them because they're a good human or they're good at the sport. And you found it out via rolling with them, not from a belt that they strap on their gi every day. But, folks, one of the homies wants to go get a glizzy. So I guess we're gonna go get a glizzy date going. We didn't pack our lunch today, so I felt like it was a great day for us to go on a little dog date, you know what I mean? So I guess let's go ahead to go grab something to grub down on. Let's go do that. Well, we have made it to the restaurant to grub down with homie, but he decided to go home and shower and not just shower at the freaking gym. So I hope he makes it here before they close. Alrighty, this fool made it. Let's get in here and let's freaking grub down, folks. Well, the damnedest thing just happened as we were walking into the glizzy shop. By the way, the glizzies were amazing. I get a phone call from my mom. She's like, are you gonna get out or are you just gonna sit in your car? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, look behind you. She's sitting right there. So needless to say, we grubbed down with the homie, got to kick it with the homie for a second, and then we got to say what's up to my mom. So it was like it's like it was meant to be. That was weird though, because she works nowhere around here, so that means she was on a mission. And how is it the one day that we decided, hey, let's go grab a bite to eat, homie? She's on a mission on our side of town. Strange how things work out like that. But I ended up getting a free lunch out of it, so that's pretty dope. Appreciate her and all of her good works. But we've got to get home because, well, I yapped with the homie for a little too long. So I guess let's boogie on home and hope that we can get like a 20-30 minute nap before having to go get these kids better today than they were yesterday. Well, we made it in enough time to get the kids better today than they were yesterday, but that is all we made it in time for. I guess let's run inside, let's wake JB up, let's grab the little sister, and let's head back out the door to go get these kids better today than they were yesterday. Like I said, just enough time to run in there and wake them up and grab me a ghost. But the little sister was asleep, so I just let her sleep. I wasn't gonna disturb her over some jiujitsu. So I guess let's get to the park. Go get these kids better today than they were yesterday. Folks, I am still dumbfounded. Like, what are the chances? What are the freaking chances of our mom being on our side of town? Like, freaking just wow. I just think it's hilarious. Hilarious. The fact that we both needed some glizzies on the same day. Nice! Mr. Miyagi. Hell yeah. She got herself a skeeter. But caffeine ingested. Let's go get these kids better today than they were yesterday. Well, folks, we have made it to the park to get these kids better today than they were yesterday. And on Monday, we worked on omoplatas. The past few weeks, we've been working on trying to escape our hips out and just learning how to use our guard. So I guess now that we have finished that up and they have a better understanding of their guard, let's start getting into some sweeps. Most people traditionally like to teach the hip bump sweep right after finishing up with guard series, but that's not me. I want to work something that I absolutely love. My go-to sweep, the only sweep that I really use, a shoulder crunch. So let's get in here and teach them a shoulder crunch, folks. Well, kids class went excellent, except for the two little guys who've got some kind of beef. Goodness. We ended up having to sit a kid for the first time ever in our program because he walked up and he like mushed the kid in the face. And JB was like, why'd you do that? He's like, I don't like him. I don't want to be friends with him. I was like, well, he's the only one who's your age and your size, and he's your drill partner. He's your teammate. You're not going to be rude to him. You're not going to be mean to him. That's the simple facts of it. You can't be rude and you can't be mean. And he didn't really understand it, but I mean, he is a little guy, a little fry. He's young. Hopefully he gets it, and hopefully sitting him out made him go, oh dang, I need to pay more attention and I need to be a little bit nicer. Even if this kid is bullying me, picking on me, whatever it may be, just come get coach or just ignore him. Be nice until you can't be nice is what I told him. And they're like, how do I do that? I'm like, it's emotional maturity. You just got to get there. You just got to get there in life. It just happens. Over time, you become more and more emotionally mature. And they're like, huh. Okay, so over time, I'll become a better person? I'm like, yeah, if you put effort into trying to become a better person, you will. That's just the general idea of anything. If you want to be a better jiu-jitsu athlete, what do? You do more jiu-jitsu. If you want to be a better person, what do? You try harder to be a better person. That's pretty much it. So we ended up sitting him today because he still didn't understand it. It makes me upset. I hate to have to sit a kid, but we can't have them getting into arguments and it not being a safe environment and a chill environment for everybody. But other than that, every kid seemed to really understand the technique and get it. So that's all that really matters. They got the technique. They got better today than they were yesterday. At least the ones who were there. But I promised JB that we would spend the afternoon together. We could play some games. We could do all those things. We can go get some dinner. So I guess, even though I'm not quite really starving, I guess we're going to grab some grub. And we're going to call it a night. Get home and we're going to hop on the games and play until our heart's freaking desire, folks. So I guess let's go find something to eat. I don't know what we're going to eat, but we're going to eat something. Alrighty, folks, we decided to come by the house, go ahead and clean up before going ahead and running to go grab some grub. So I guess let's get inside, let's clean up, and then let's go find something to grub on. Well, as I was in the shower trying to get cleaned up before our date, JB goes, you know, I think that I have a pork tenderloin in the fridge. I think I'm gonna go upstairs, I'm gonna cook, and we're just gonna eat here tonight. Which I'm fine with that, because honestly, we shouldn't be putting garbage in our bodies when we're an elite athlete. You are what you eat, you're just gonna feel like shit if you eat like shit. So, I guess she's just trying to prove that she's still wifey material and that she could still cook up for me. So, I guess let's head upstairs. Let's see if we can help JB with anything tonight for dinner. Let's grub down and then let's call it a night. Hop on these games, catch a few dubs, enjoy our freaking hump day. Well, luckily, when we had made it back up here, JB had already finished cooking for me. I guess she really is just wifey material. I guess let's go in, grub down, and call it a night, folks. Well, folks, dinner was great. It was nice to have time to be able to cook a nice, warm, fresh meal. Shout out to my beautiful fiance for making that happen. But, folks, I guess we're gonna round off the day. Yeah, it's still bright out and we're being able to call it a freaking night. That one never happens. Granted, we are making that sacrifice of not going to get better this afternoon than we were yesterday, but I did promise JB that we would spend a little time together today, and then guess what I did? I went and got better this morning than I was yesterday, even though I told her I would spend the whole day with her. But then again, she did have class, and she was totally just going to skip class to spend the day with me, and I was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. That's silly. That is just goofy, JB. I gotta go get better today than I was yesterday, so you might as well go to class so I can go to class. You know what I mean? So eventually I convinced her to go and do what she needs to do. Go to class. Go continue your education, babe. But, folks, today was a pretty good day. I guess we can round the topic back to what we were talking about earlier today with Coach. So we were chit-chatting and we were like, you know, some coaches tend to want to promote people based on character traits instead of basing it on skill level traits. Like, there are so many coaches out there that if you're not a cool guy, you don't have their kind of personality, or, you know, maybe you're kind of a crash out and do dumb things, they won't promote you. And I think, and the coach is like, that's just, it's stupid. If you have to not promote someone because of their attitude or because of their character traits, and maybe you should probably remove them from your gym instead of, like, you know, continuing to take money from them when you don't like the person, you know? You don't think they're a good fit for your class, you don't think they're a good fit for your gym. If that's the case, just get rid of them, you know? And I'm in agreement too. There's so many coaches who are like, that's my guy, I'm gonna promote him to black belt. Well, that's just goofy. Your guy don't even know what he's doing. He doesn't have the dangdest idea, the darndest idea over technique, fundamentals, all those good things. And you're just promoting him because he's your quote-unquote guy. And we were just chit-chatting, and I think as adults, that is perfectly fine. And the reason why I round it back off to that for today is because we had that little mishap in our class today, our kids' class. where one kid was just not showing such great character traits. And, well, do I not reward that kid ever with a belt until he changes his attitude? Or do I reward him when he starts progressing in jiu-jitsu and his attitude can just stay the same? And, that's kind of like a little dilemma, because so many parents and guardians and, those things, they get their kids into combat sports, martial arts, for discipline, for respect, for confidence. And I feel like as a kids instructor, you would be doing a disservice to your students if you're just going to be promoting them on skill level. Like, I feel like you're doing them a disservice if you promote them because even when they don't have the skill level, like just because that's your guy, you're promoting them. Like, no, I'm still not going to do that with kids either. But I also feel like you should be getting some kind of character development in jiu-jitsu as a kid. But then again, who am I to tell them that their character is flawed, I mean, yes, I am their coach, blah, 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 things like that. But who am I? I'm not a psychologist. I mean, I know we went to school to be a psychologist, but like, we didn't graduate, so we're not a psychologist. I know I've done a lot of studying and trying to understand the human brain, but again, we are not a psychologist. I am not their counselor. I am their jiu-jitsu coach. But at the same time, you kind of have a little predicament there, like I don't know, wouldn't you just be doing that kid a disservice? Like, definitely as a kid. As an adult, I don't care. I mean, I don't have any control of what you do when you're outside of here. Just don't bring your junk into here, you know what I mean? But as a kid, I don't really know. I think you should work on character development. I feel like that's kind of part of the sport. Definitely as a youth. Once you get as an adult, I mean, if you're a crappy person, guess what? People are just not gonna want to roll with you. It's just gonna be like that. And even as kids, you're just not gonna have a training partner. And then, yeah, you're without training partners. I mean, it's just that simple, folks. So I guess I'm kind of in a little predicament. I mean, he's nowhere near to being ready to be promoted or anything like that. But if he were, should I promote him with bad character traits as a youth? I don't know. That's a good question. It's something to, like, I guess, ponder on for a little bit. Are we that coach who expects character development? Because again, I ain't perfect, so how can I tell you to be a better person? I mean, I guess I try to be the best person I could possibly be. But who am I to tell you what you're doing is wrong? If it's not hurting someone else, then is it really wrong? I mean, I don't know. What's y'all's opinions? Do you promote that kid who's a star pupil, he's freaking amazing at the sport, but he has terrible character traits? I don't know. That's something to really think over. As an adult, I don't believe that these kittens are freaking adorable. I don't think it's any of your business what their character traits are. But as a kid, I think it does fall back on you just a little bit. Definitely as their coach. That's just me. And as an adult, I mean, don't bring your drama to me. But folks, I guess let's get inside. Let's go catch a few doves, spend a little time with JB, and then call it a freaking night. I hope to see y'all there. Until next time, good night, folks, and BillyGoat loves ya.